Hey everyone, welcome to Three Crosses Farrier Company. Today we're pulling the shoes on a Western Pleasure horse and resetting them. We've got a 3D impression pad with a PLR wedge on this horse. This horse came to me, he was crushing his heels, was having some movement issues, and we've been able to fix most of those. We still got a ways to go on the recovery process. What I'm pulling out of there right now is the dental impression. Dental impression is by far one of the biggest things I keep in my toolbox. I love dental impression. It works so well. When I use dental impression, you'll see here in a little bit, the blue that you see there, that's actually copper sulfate granulars that I put under the dental impression to help with thrush. And if you look here, there's not really that much thrush, considering this horse has been standing in mud and snow and just wet weather. The hoof actually looks super healthy. We don't have a bunch of white flaky material coming off. The frog is still a little bit less than I want it to be. You can see it's not a super, it doesn't look super healthy, but it's way better than it was 2 cycles ago. So again, you're gonna see here, I'm gonna trim this horse. You're gonna see I'm not gonna take a lot of toe because he's already pretty short in the toe. The issues that we're having is those heels are walking forward on us. So we're gonna bring those heels back. And by that I mean we're gonna trim those heels back so that they come back under the foot. And then we're gonna set the shoe back a little bit. The PLRs are my favorite for doing that because they have that flat toe and rockered toe. So it sets the breakover further back than even a regular shoe will. They also have a 3-degree wedge PLR, which I like because I can add the wedge with just the shoe. So here's the dental impression. And I usually mix the dental impression with copper sulfate as well and put copper sulfate under the shoe. It looks like I forgot to do that today, which I'm kind of mad at myself for doing. It's not super serious, but it is a little annoying that I forgot. This horse was not standing very good. He's kind of a, he's a little special. He can be hard to work on and doesn't like to stand really good. Again, I wring my nails off. A lot of guys will bend them over, do different things, and it works for them. For me, it doesn't work. I don't like getting stabbed with sharp objects, so I always try to have my nails wrung off whenever I work on them. Shoe was a little bit further over than I wanted it, so a lot of times you can slide the shoe over if you bump it a little bit, and then once you set them nails, then it won't move anymore. A lot of times when I'm nailing to shoes like this one, the hoof wall is a little narrow, and so you'll see me readjust my nail. If I don't like the sound of it as I'm driving or the feel of it, I'll readjust it, and that way we don't hot nail him or quick him. Hot nailing and quicking is basically when the nail hits live tissue. We're driving the nails into the hoof wall. So we nail to the white line, and then the nail actually has a bevel to it that causes the nail to push out. Again, I'm just packing that foot with whatever dental impression. And what I'm also trying to do is to get it to come into those holes, and that way it stays in place for the entire shoeing cycle. I get asked a lot of times, how long will this last? This will last a full 8 weeks. It'll even go a little longer. I don't like horses to go longer than 8 weeks, but it will last longer than 8 weeks. And then we're gonna finish this foot up, clean it up, get it looking good. Again, you can see this horse, when you see how it's sliding, that's because he's leaning on me. That's because he's kind of being a turd muffin about things and doesn't feel it necessary to hold his foot on the stand. But he's overall, he's not a bad horse. He's just kind of a dink, and he doesn't try to hurt you or anything. He just doesn't like to stand. I do love the finish work. It just brings everything together that you've been doing on the horse. Just makes everything look nice, cleans it up. it makes such a difference. Now again, you'll see that the toe is overhanging the shoe, and that is by design. That's what I want it to do. I don't want to bob that toe or 45 that toe so that it matches the shoe. I want the hoof capsule to stay natural and the shoe to change the way he moves. And that's one of the reasons we shoe. We shoe for 3 reasons. We shoe to preserve hoof wall, to protect the foot, or to change a pathological issue. But and I'm going to buff those nails a little bit. Just take any rough sharpness, you know, because you don't want him to, especially on the inside where he could hit himself, you don't want anything sharp because it can cause issues. This particular setup for shoes is one of my favorites. And that'll about do it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe. Let us know what you think in the comments.